around the house, and that is what I'm going to try to make. It's a moccasin. It's more of a shoe than a moccasin, actually. They want $250 or $275 on the site for a pair of them. I'll show you what I did yesterday, which coincidentally did not work. Move some of this stuff out of the way. I made a footprint. The footprint was fine. This, the top part, and I forget what they call it, but let me get this in the shot a little better too. Get some of this other stuff out of the way. What I did is I just cut this out. This is out of like a pillowcase type material, almost like a sheet. But the top, let's do it like this. The top did not fit very well. Just like that, you see. It was, I had to cinch all this up because it was way too loose on top of my foot. So, and also, of course, you have the back that wraps around, and I'll show you that in a second on this other one. So that didn't work. So what I did is I made another template. I already started sewing it. I decided, you know what, see if we can show how I did it. So what I did is every 1/4 inch, and now that I looked at this, that might be 3/8 of an inch, to be honest with you. So I counted how many stitches they have, and I have a lot more stitches. So, but for the purposes of doing this mock-up to see how it fits my foot, it'll be fine. So this is what I have so far. And of course this will sew up, this will be around the back, and this might be a little tall. It just so happens that this is a piece that I had, so I didn't have to cut it. And I have the part with the tongue right here. Let me show you that. Here's the part, here, let's back up. Here's the part with the tongue, kind of odd looking duck in it. But this is what it looks like on the templates. I counted out every 1/4 inch and marked it 20, 30, 40, 50 threads here. And then of course I did the same here, which is 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 threads. So I know where this is going to end up with my stitches. So all the stitches will coincide, so all the stitches will just kind of follow around, and I know the count's right, because some of the information that I have is that if you get to a certain spot and you don't have the right amount of holes, or you're off, well, then you get to take it all apart, and I like to avoid that. So here's what I'm doing right now is I'm sewing this, and I'll continue to sew all the way around here, and then once I get to where the tongue part, then I'll put that in there and I'll sew that all together all at once. So I'll give you a I'll let you guys check it out after I sew it. So I'm gonna continue to sew. Well, I'm about halfway done sewing, and I'm not too concerned about cinching everything down tight because this material is so thin that it puckers up pretty good if you crank it down. So I'm not too concerned about, like I said, cinching it. This is what the inside looks like. You can see that they're fairly consistent. I did make I don't know how I managed this one right here, but somehow I got confused, which doesn't surprise me. And you can see right here too that the loops aren't incredibly tight, and they're not. This is probably about an hour and 15 minutes worth of sewing for me, but now I'm into a groove, so I'll be able to finish this last part. I'll be able to finish all of this all the way back and around probably in a half hour once you get the hang of it. If you're starting off, it's really shaky because you got to remember, well, here, let me do a stitch for you and I'll show you exactly what I mean. Try to get everything into the camera here. And basically you have to start off on the inside. Well, right now you do because I am on the inside. And you look for the next dot right there. Through it goes. Now my hands may get in the way a little bit, but you can just kind of see that it doesn't really take an incredibly long amount of time to do a stitch. Go through that one, then it lines up right there. Oops, let me get back in the picture. So I'm through the outside, right here. See this one on the inside? I go through that without poking your little piggy, and you're through. Then you go through the top one. Let me get back here so you can see. Like this. Go through the color right there, the little dot. Whoops! Look how much I missed that one by. And I was looking damn well straight at it. Well, that happens. That happens. So I'll try to pull it back through the other way. Which, geez, it isn't as easy. You know, sometimes you break the damn thread. So let me try it here a second. So here we go. Pull. Yeah, see, I'm gonna break the thread. So I'm gonna try to go through this away. And this happens now with leather. See, now with leather, I'd have holes popped in it. So you're going to know automatically. I mean, you're not going to accidentally miss it because there's going to be a hole popped in it, like a 1 or 1.5 millimeter hole. And of course, 1 millimeter is about the thickness of a dime. So it's going to be a fairly easily seen hole. Okay, back at it. So I went through right here, flip her over, and see, it's just a matter of getting into a rhythm. And with the camera right here, it's really difficult, but it does not take long to really whip through this now. And I've only poked my finger once, no blood. So I'm going to continue, and next time I show you this project, it'll be all done, and I'll throw it on my caveman foot, and we will see how it fits. And this will be the template for the $275. I don't know if they're Chica or Chuka or Incan style moccasin, but that's what I'm trying to do. So I'll be back in about a half. Here we are. This is what the little dandy looks like. Again, now I wasn't too concerned about cinching all this down super tight. With the leather, of course, you can really reef on it, but this you really can't. But it did come out okay. Let me show you some of the stitching inside. Got the black stitching that I use black thread on, obviously. Then I switched to a hunter's orange thread, and it goes all the way back there until I tied her off. So let's go ahead and throw it on the footy foot. And let's see here. I don't know if you'll be able to see all of this, but it's not important. I'll just show you once it's on. And I want this tight. I want this tight because I know that the leather will you know, leather has a tendency to be tight and then it will stretch out. So that's basically it. Now that's sitting. Now once you stand, your foot has a tendency to flatten out, of course. And that is exactly what I want. That is a perfect tightness there. And of course, this is going to be leather, and there'll more than likely be some sort of tie. And let's see, I think I even like how, here, let's do it like this. Maybe you can see a little bit better like this. And I really even like the tongue. The tongue seems to be about right. I've got the, looks like these two sides come up just about right. So, I do believe that I am ready to fail with leather now. And the reason I say that is because sometimes when you make it for the first time, anything you do for the first time is not, you know, you run the risk of not being able to quite make it the way you want, and it might just be a well, failure, which is okay. I've never made these before, but I think that this pattern is really what I want. So take it off the old foot again here. I'm not too crazy about the way it fits in the back, how it cradles the heel. I might cut that down a little bit and make it a little tighter, but then again I might not. I'll have to think about that. So that is going to be the moccasin. So I'll get some leather, I'll cut it up, and we'll start on that. So that'll be the next video. This is Hap for Hap Around the House. If you like our content, subscribe. That took about 2 hours or so, and mainly because I've never really sewn one like this before. But okay, next video will be leather.